Welcome to my YouTube channel Wise Whispers, where silence speaks. The lipstick trembled in Lucy's hand. At 67 years old, Lucy had learned how to control her emotions, through loss, through loneliness, through years of silence. But today something was different, today mattered. She leaned closer to the mirror, carefully applying a soft shade of pink. Her reflection stared back at her, wrinkles around her eyes, yes, but also warmth, memories, and a quiet strength built over decades. Not bad for 67, she whispered with a faint smile. Behind her, neatly placed on the bed, was a light blue dress. It wasn't new, but it was her favorite, the one she wore on special occasions, and today was very special. Her granddaughter, Sophie, was graduating. Lucy's eyes softened as she picked up the small gift box from the table. Inside was a delicate gold locket. She had saved for months to buy it. Inside the locket, she had placed a tiny picture of Sophie as a child, missing teeth, messy hair, laughing uncontrollably in Lucy's arms. "Little girl," Lucy murmured. She imagined the moment. Sophie walking across the stage, receiving her diploma, scanning the crowd and finding her grandma. That one word was enough to make everything worth it. Lucy carefully placed the gift in her purse and reached for her phone. "I should call Mark," she said to herself. Just to confirm the time. Mark, her son, Sophie's father. She dialed his number, her heart light, almost excited. The phone rang twice, then 3 times. Finally he answered. "Yeah," Lucy's smile faded slightly at his tone, but she kept her voice warm. "Mark dear, I just wanted to ask what time I should." "Mom," he interrupted. That one word, sharp, impatient. Lucy paused. "Yes." There was a silence on the line, not the comfortable kind, the heavy kind. Then came the words, "We don't need you to come." Lucy froze, her hand tightened around the phone. What do you mean?" she asked quietly. "It's just a small event," Mark said quickly. "Close family only." Lucy blinked. "I am family." "Yeah, but," he hesitated. "It'll be crowded, complicated. Sophie will be busy." Lucy felt her chest tighten. "I won't bother anyone," she said softly. "I'll just sit quietly. I just want to see her." "Mom, please," Mark said, frustration creeping in. "Just stay home, all right? We don't need you there." The words hit harder this time. "We don't need you." Lucy didn't speak. She couldn't. He added, after a long pause, she forced out a single word. "Okay." The line went dead. The room felt colder. Lucy slowly lowered the phone, her reflection still staring at her from the mirror. But now it looked different, older, lonelier, unwanted. She sat down on the edge of the bed, her eyes drifting to the blue dress. "I guess I won't be needing that," she whispered. Her fingers traced the fabric gently, as if saying goodbye to something more than just a dress. Lucy hadn't always felt this invisible. There was a time when she was the center of everything. She remembered raising Mark as a single mother after her husband passed away. Long nights, endless sacrifices, working 2 jobs just to make sure he never felt less than anyone else. She remembered packing his lunches, attending every school event, cheering the loudest. "I'll always be there for you," she used to say. And she meant it. She kept that promise through everything. But somewhere along the way, things changed. Mark got busy, life moved on, calls became shorter, visits became rare, and now she wasn't even needed. Hours passed. Lucy didn't change out of her dress, she just sat there. The clock ticked loudly on the wall, each second reminding her of what she was missing. "They must be starting now," she murmured. She imagined Sophie in her graduation gown, her bright smile, her proud moment. And Lucy wasn't there, not because she couldn't be, but because she was told she shouldn't be. A tear slipped down her cheek, then another. "I did everything for you," she whispered, her voice breaking. But the room didn't answer. It never did. Evening came. The sunlight faded into a soft orange glow. Lucy stood up slowly and walked to the window. Outside, life went on. People laughed, cars passed, everything seemed normal except inside her. She looked at the gift box again, the gold locket, the tiny picture, the love she had saved inside it. "I can't just not give this to her," she said. Her voice, though soft, carried something new, not anger, not sadness, something stronger. A quiet decision. Lucy said, shaking her head slightly. "I'm going." She didn't change, she didn't overthink it. She simply picked up her purse and walked out of the house. The graduation hall was filled with people, families, friends, laughter, cameras flashing. Lucy hesitated at the entrance. What if he sees me? What if he sends me away? But then she remembered Sophie. And she stepped inside. Rows of chairs stretched across the hall. Lucy quietly found a seat at the back. No one noticed her. And for once, she was okay with that, because she was there. The ceremony began, names were called, applause filled the room. And then Sophie Markson. Lucy's heart stopped. There she was, walking confidently across the stage, her eyes shining. Lucy's hands trembled as she clapped softly, tears blurring her vision. "That's my granddaughter," she whispered. At that moment, Sophie looked out into the crowd. Her eyes searched, left, right, and then they landed on Lucy. Time seemed to freeze. Sophie's expression changed instantly, from confusion to shock to pure emotion. Grandma, she mouthed. Lucy smiled through her tears and nodded. After the ceremony, chaos filled the hall, hugs, laughter, pictures. Lucy stood quietly, unsure if she should approach, but she didn't have to. Grandma, Sophie ran toward her, nearly knocking into people. Before Lucy could react, Sophie wrapped her arms tightly around her. You came, she said, her voice trembling. Lucy held her close. Of course I came, she whispered. I wouldn't miss this for anything. Sophie pulled back, her eyes filled with confusion. But Dad said you weren't feeling well, that you couldn't come. Lucy's smile faded slightly, and just then, Mom, Mark's voice sharp, tense. Lucy turned. There he was, watching her. You shouldn't be here, Mark said quietly. Sophie stepped in front of Lucy. Why not? She demanded. Mark hesitated. It's complicated. No, Sophie said firmly. It's not. She turned to Lucy. Grandma, did you want to come? Lucy looked at her, really looked at her, and chose honesty. Yes. Sophie turned back to her father, hurt written all over her face. Then why did you lie? Mark had no answer. The silence was heavy, uncomfortable, real. Finally, Lucy spoke. I didn't come to cause problems, she said gently. I just wanted to see her. Sophie grabbed her hand. You belong here, she said. For the first time, Mark looked unsure, not angry, not distant. Just wrong. I thought. He began slowly. It would be easier. Lucy nodded. For you, she said softly. Mark looked down, guilt replacing his confidence. I didn't realize, he whispered. Lucy sighed. You didn't realize I'm still your mother. Sophie squeezed Lucy's hand. She's not just your mother, she said. She's my grandmother, and I needed her here. Something shifted in that moment, something quiet but powerful. Mark stepped forward slightly. Sorry, Mom. Lucy didn't respond immediately, but after a moment she nodded. Say it, she said gently. Show it. Lucy turned back to Sophie and smiled. I have something for you. She handed her the small box. Sophie opened it carefully and gasped. It's beautiful. Open it, Lucy said. Inside was the tiny photo. Sophie's eyes filled with tears. You kept this, Lucy smiled. I kept everything. Sophie hugged her again, tighter this time. I love you, Grandma. Lucy closed her eyes. I love you too. That night, Lucy walked home slowly, but something had changed. She wasn't invisible anymore, because even if one person makes you feel unwanted, there will always be someone who reminds you that you matter. Moral of the story: never make someone feel unneeded, especially those who spent their whole life being there for you. Love, respect, and presence are what truly define family. And sometimes showing up, despite the pain, is the strongest form of love.